Hello, my name is Akpesiri and I'm a wealth manager. Just a little about me. I'm in my early 30s. I'm a wife, a mother of two children, and professionally, I have 8+ years of experience, and this is across financial services industry and also in entrepreneurship role as a wealth manager. I have met with rich people, wealthy people, and I'm still meeting them right on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. I meet these people, and I've come to draw some experiences or some learnings from these people, because I get to hear their stories, right, where they are coming from, and their vision for themselves, for their family, for their generation, and the legacy they want to leave behind. And one thing kept or keeps reoccurring, and that is leverage, right? For some of them, they didn't have any leverage, but they were able to bounce from that nothing, to build the empire that they have today. While some, most, right, had leverage, right? They had maybe they come from a comfortable family, or they have one uncle, or they have a group of friends, or a community, that supported their dreams at one point or the other. So that was one thing that I have been getting from these conversations. To look at myself and think about my background and say no, right, there are a few, right, let's say 20-25% or about 30% of these people that that we know that are millionaires and billionaires today, that came from nothing. But it's harder, right? It's not impossible, but it just makes it harder when you don't have that leverage. So I thought about it that there are people like me, who didn't have that leverage as well, or who doesn't have that leverage as well, and they'll be thinking that is this how they are going to end up, and for a long time I've always wanted to have a community where I can help people like myself, between the ages of 28 and 35, who are leverageless, quote and unquote, right? um you know you are like a first generation wealth builder. You want to be a first generation wealth builder. You may be a firstborn like me, or any position in your family, but you have that burden in your heart, and you know that you can do it, right? You can do it. If you tell yourself that you can do it. So I'm looking for that, that tribe of people who want to be first generation wealth builders. And if this speaks to you, if this resonates with you, just click the link in my bio and follow my WhatsApp channel. I'll be taking it a day at a time. You know, Wealth building is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So, meaning that this is not a get rich quick scheme, this is not an association of get rich schemers. This is an association of patient, deliberate, intelligent people who are seeking to break a generation of lack or not enough. Besides wealth building, part of the things I'll be sharing in this community will be centered around faith, family, you know fitness, health in general, mistakes I've made, career related information. um, I'm furthering my education. I'm going to also talk about that, the benefits, and how you too can. Also, certifications that I'm pursuing, and every other personal opinion and experiences that I believe will be of benefit to the community. Now, my dream is to build a community of at least 100K people who are going to be first generation wealth builders. In this community, we're going to be having people that are building their first 10 million, their first 50 million, their first 100 million, their first 500 million, their first 1 billion funds under management. Also, there are going to be people that are getting their first property, or getting their first rental property, or getting their first commercial estates. A lot of great things that we'll be achieving together and individually as well. Over the next few days, I'm going to be doing more introductory videos that would, realign my brand, right? Because I know I've done a lot of things, and that is part of the things I'm going to be talking about. So all of the wealth of my experience is what I'm going to be bringing, for us in this community, on how to better ourselves in our career, how to better ourselves as entrepreneurs or intrapreneurs, all of these experiences I'm going to be sharing with us, to make us better, so we don't make the same mistakes I've made, so we, have a better life, right? So you can take me as your financial evangelist, right? That is, seeking to break the cycle of, lack and, just not enoughness, quote unquote, in our families. And I pray that as we do this together, we would see, massive results, massive testimonies from amongst us. All right, until next time, stay blessed.